Pokémon the Movie, Genesect, and The Legend Awakened, famously known for introducing the most popular mechanic in the franchise, Mega Evolution. However, that's not all this Unova movie had in store for the fans. A brand new Mewtwo, different from the one Ash and his friends had encountered in the past, was introduced to shock the audience. Genesect and The Legend Awakened premiered in Japan on July 13th, 2013, and in the United States on October 19th, 2013. But before the movie was even released, there was a special Pokemon anime episode that served as a prologue to the movie, appropriately known as Mewtwo Prologue To Awakening. This special aired in Japan on July 11th, 2013, 2 days before the premiere of the movie. Nice! The special episode also was released in the West, making it the only special from Black and White to get an English dub. However, there was one slight glaring issue. The special episode came out 3 months after the movie had already aired, so some of you are probably watching Pokemon on your TV as normal, only to see a prologue of a movie you might have already seen. I mean, what was I expecting? Common Pokemon dub L. Alright, so what makes this special episode so lost? Well, first things first, it only aired one time in Japan and one time in the West. So unlike all the other Pokemon anime episodes and movies that air on TV, which are all easily accessible now from either buying DVDs, if you still do that, online TV subscriptions, or lastly, in this case for the special, it's pretty much impossible to find and watch it now. And you're probably asking why I say that. Well, the prologue did actually come out for fans to buy at home on December 18th, 2013. It was released in Japan as a part of the Mewtwo Box DVD collection, which also includes Mewtwo Strikes Back, Mewtwo Returns, Genesect and The Legend Awakened, and Eevee and Friends. But there's a catch. This special Mewtwo Box collection only came out in Japan. The West never got this collection. Therefore, if you missed the initial release of the prologue in the West, I'm sorry to say, but mate, you missed it. Mewtwo Prologue To Awakening still surfaces on the internet every now and again, due to some people having recorded it on TV or working at the TV studios of the premiere. But due to copyright, it ends up getting taken down before anyone can watch it. You may now feel disappointed that you missed the release of the special episode in 2014, as literally no one in the Pokemon anime community actually talks about it. But don't fret, as today I'm going to explain to you what happened, what truly went down in this miraculous Mewtwo encounter. This is the Lost Pokemon Anime Special. In a rugged mountain range, Mewtwo engages in a fierce battle against a Tyranitar and 2 Escavalier. However, Mewtwo manages to escape the encounter, albeit with significant injuries. Unfortunately, the Tyranitar and Escavalier are swept away by a landslide caused by the intense fighting. Sometime later, Virgil finds himself returning to base after successfully completing yet another rescue mission alongside his loyal Eevee. However, their journey is interrupted when the helicopter experiences engine trouble and they are forced to make an emergency landing for repairs. It is during this unexpected detour that Virgil and the audience are introduced to Anna and her grandfather Oscar, who live in a cozy cabin amidst the majestic mountains. As they share a meal together and engage in conversation, Anna and Oscar re-encounter an intriguing encounter they had with an unidentified Pokemon not too long ago. The tale unfolds as Anna and Oscar were hiking along with their trusty Stoutland when misfortune struck. All 3 of them accidentally fell in the deep crevice. Little did they know, at that time, it was none other than Mewtwo who came out to their rescue, using its psychic abilities before soaring away into the unknown. After overhearing their conversation, a man with his right arm in a sling approaches them. He introduces himself as Duck and shares the true identity of Mewtwo. According to Duck, Mewtwo saved him from a landslide, but unfortunately both Mewtwo and his Escavalier were swept away by the disaster. In response, Virgil rallies his Team Eevee to assist Dirk in recovering his Pokemon, and they successfully accomplish this mission. However, Dirk expresses concern about Mewtwo being injured and seeks Virgil's, Anna's, and Oscar's help in locating it. Meanwhile, Mewtwo takes refuge in an underwater spring to recover. When approached by a Maru and an Azumarill swimming towards it, Mewtwo glares at them, causing them to quickly retreat. Virgil, Anna, and Oscar study a map of the area and come to realizing that finding Mewtwo will be quite challenging. Virgil suggests using his helicopter for an aerial search, but Dirk believes that Mewtwo will be frightened away due to its distrust of humans. When questioned about how he acquired such knowledge about Mewtwo, Dirk reveals that humans created it by manipulating the genes of Mew through cruel experiments conducted in a laboratory. Eventually breaking free from captivity, Mewtwo became Dirk's focus as he searched for it with hopes of providing protection. Unfortunately, their encounter led them straight into the path of the devastating landslide. Virgil sends out Team Eevee joined by Stoutland to find Mewtwo, while Anna utilizes her power to connect with the hearts of the forest Pokemon to request their assistance too. Virgil's Eevee, Leafeon, and Vaporeon encounter the previously mentioned Marill and Azumarill and learn of Mewtwo's location. They are unaware, however, that a camera drone is following them and filming a feed that Dirk is secretively viewing on his wrist device. Dirk sneaks out while the others are distracted. Team Eevee reunites with Stoutland at Mewtwo's cave, and Eevee, Espeon, and Stoutland bring Mewtwo a revival herb. Mewtwo, on the other hand, denies all assistance. Dirk is standing on a cliff overlooking the clearing as they leave the cave. He takes off his sling and conjures an army of robotic drones to round up the area and cave entrance. Mewtwo attempts to flee, only to be imprisoned by an electromagnetic barrier created by the aircraft, and is attacked by Dirk's Tyranitar and Escavalier. And here is where we finally see the big debut of Mega Mewtwo Y, and my gosh, this was epic. Mewtwo begins its counterattacks with tremendous speed when it appears to be cornered. When Virgil, Anna, and Oscar arrive, they notice the incident and confront Dirk. Dirk maintains that he did not mislead them about his intentions, but he just failed to tell them that he's actually a Pokemon hunter, hired by Mewtwo's developers to recapture it. Well, that's just convenient, isn't it, Dirk? Before restarting the battle, Mewtwo claims to have realized humans could not be trusted. Anna apologizes to Mewtwo for not knowing the truth about Dirk. After being struck by Tyranitar's powerful Hyper Beam earlier, some of Dirk's drones suddenly spark and unintentionally start a forest fire. Virgil urgently summons Team Eevee to help, but the flames quickly encircle them. The drones swarm around Mewtwo and launch an assault on it. In a matter of moments, Mewtwo becomes restrained by the energy blast from the drones, but it manages to break free using Side Strike. With agile dodges, Mewtwo invades several more attacks and undergoes its powerful Mega Evolution, swiftly obliterating the drones with its incredible speed and psychic powers. Some of the burning drones crash near Dirk, causing him to stumble down the cliff and accidentally release his Pokemon's Pokeballs. As Mewtwo soars above the forest, it ponders in its existence as a Pokemon created to be the strongest. However, it realizes that anyone who becomes involved with it only encounters trouble. Knowing what it must do now, Mewtwo uses its psychic powers to lift all the water from a nearby lake and skillfully extinguish the raging flames of the fire. Dirk wakes up and commands his Tyranitar and Escavalier to attack Mewtwo once more, but Mewtwo effortlessly crushes his Pokeballs with Psychic. Tyranitar and the two Escavalier break free from Dirk's control and walk away. Left with no other choice, Dirk begs and pleads for mercy, explaining that he was only following orders from the scientists who manipulated him. Virgil's Espeon and Umbreon use their psychic abilities to lift Dirk up and capture him, intending to take him to Officer Jenny. Virgil, Anna, and Oscar express their gratitude to Mewtwo for rescuing them, but Mewtwo humbly states that it was simply aiding the Pokemon in need, not the humans. As they bid farewell, Mewtwo urges them to forget this encounter ever happened before vanishing into a thunderstorm, wondering if we will ever find a place it can truly call home. In another setting at a Pokemon Center, Ash, Iris, and Silent are having a conversation with Professor Oak. He suggests that they should visit Pokemon Hills, a park in New Talk City where his friend works. While talking, Iris catches sight of Virgil, the Unova League Conference winner. Had to put that in there for my boy. The interviewer asks him about the key aspects of Team Eevee and the Pokemon Rescue Squad, and Virgil gazes up at the sky, reflecting on Mewtwo. He responds that it's all about nurturing a genuine connection between people and Pokemon with open hearts, concluding Mewtwo Prologue to Awakening. A prologue special episode to a movie is certainly something I did not expect from the Pokemon anime, but having one of Ash's rivals, Virgil, being the main protagonist completely blew my mind. I can only imagine if all of this was to air in our current day and age, everyone in the community would be freaking out right now. Because what are the chances that one of Ash's rivals would get a focus special? And yes, I am not including my goat Alan here. It's wild to know that this special actually exists and is real, because big W's to Pokemon for doing this. Now for the special as a whole. I think it did amazing justice to Virgil's character, promoting Mewtwo's big return to cinemas, as well as getting fans excited for the movie's drop, and showcasing the brand new mechanic in Mega Evolution exceedingly well. Firstly, we got to see more of Virgil's character. It kind of felt like he was just introduced to us in black and white, entered the Unova League with everyone else, won it, and said his goodbyes. But the fact out of all of Ash's rivals from the Unova series they could have picked from, and they chose to go with Virgil, it makes me so happy, and it just goes to show there's so much potential with his character. It's actually a crime that Virgil didn't appear in Journeys, but I digress. The special episode really showcased his personality, which is something a lot of people say he didn't have when he had his episodes with Ash. However, with Ash not in the spotlight for all of this and not even interacting with Virgil at all, we really got to see this man shine. We got to see more of his personal skills as well as a Pokemon rescuer, like how he saved the 2S Cavalier under the rock and the fact that he knows how to fix his own helicopter. Like bro, I didn't even know he had the brains to do that. We heard and saw more about his experiences and personal connections with Team Eevee, and also the way he carries himself and interacts with other people like Anna and Oscar. We witnessed that Virgil can easily relax around people he's comfortable with, as when we saw his Eevee and Pokemon laughing at him when he had dirt on his face, and also when Anna pranked him by putting tomato berries in his sandwich. We really got to see his true self in both instances, which I love so much. Lastly, the way Virgil sympathized with Mewtwo, trying to understand what it's been through after being abused, tricked, and having to be on the run because it just couldn't trust people anymore, was something I think we could all expect, but I'm glad they showed this individual realization for Virgil. Like we heard in his final speech, he stated how he thinks it's important that people and Pokemon connect with each other with open hearts, whilst he thought about Mewtwo. The values he has and the way he carries himself are some of the reasons why Virgil is one of my favorite characters in the anime. So major hats off to Pokemon for deciding to go with him. Anna and Oscar were good side characters, of course there to support Virgil's main role of the episode, as well as their connection of introducing Mewtwo to the anime and the good it had done for them. Especially Anna. She was a funny prankster, and the relationship she had with Virgil kind of reminded me of Alan and Marin. Maybe this is what inspired the creation of those characters, who knows, but I love seeing them on screen having fun together, playing around, and also working together in times of great crisis. For the big bad of this plot being Pokemon Hunter Dirk, he's just your stereotypical villain, but I can say he's one of the coolest villains we've got design-wise in the Pokemon anime. Bro could have even been a good guy with his design. The special kinda did a good job of making you believe what he was saying was true about wanting to protect Mewtwo after it being abused by scientists. But of course, when we saw him spy on Team Eevee when they found injured Mewtwo's location, it was clear he was lying. And the fact he knows Mewtwo doesn't even trust humans with its hard past and still wanted to capture it is kinda crazy. But that's Pokemon villains for you. His character nonetheless wasn't really something top tier or class, as it's something that they weren't really trying to focus on, as he's no Hunter J or the Iron Master Maruda. He was just here to give insight to who Mewtwo was and its dark past. Dirk was truly only here to get the bag, and of course that was revealed after his Pokemon got released and he was pretty much helpless. So yeah, I guess you could say big ups to him for staying true to his motives even though he's going to jail. Lastly, the mega star of the show, Mewtwo. With this being a different Mewtwo of course, but still having the same past we all know about, just not as deep as OG Mewtwo, this Mewtwo was really struggling to trust people after everything that happened to it for all reasons. But it still went out of its way to help humans and Pokemon, regardless of its past, which is a big reason why so many love Mewtwo. Not to mention, the way Mewtwo was able to transform into its Mewtwo-wise form was just gorgeous, especially the way it battled too, showcasing the immense power of Mega Evolution. I loved how it used its Mega powers to save the forest from turning into a forest fire. But it's just a shame that the prologue ended with Mewtwo still not accepting to trust people, only Pokemon, even though Virgil, Anna and Oscar were so grateful. Mewtwo Prologue to Awakening was truly something special. I enjoyed it from start to finish, even rewatching it after so many years. Not once was I like, oh, this is some boring filler, or let's just get to the good parts already. Everything was paced well from beginning, climax and the resolution. With just having watched the prologue, you would be perfectly set up to watch Genesect and the Legend Awakened, and it does an outstanding job of creating that desire and want to find out what's going to happen to Mewtwo next, and if you'll ever find someone who can help it, find a place it can truly call home. If you ever manage to get your hands on Mewtwo Prologue to Awakening, it's definitely worth watching, and I definitely recommend you check it out because it fills in that pre-gap from Genesect and the Legend Awakened, reintroducing Mewtwo and smoothly transitions you into that next movie. Also, if you love Virgil like I do or want to see more of his character in action for one last time, this special is for you. As always, be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for everything Pokemon anime related. Thank you for watching.